Welcoming you back to Crypto's Juiciest News, baby dolls. We've got a cracker episode coming your way today. I've caught you with my Pokeball, and I have many things coming for you. We're going to be speaking about crypto KOLs, a lot of them calling for the bear market. BCB, Bitty Boy, we've got PulseChain ecosystem rising. President Pump making a lot of comments about the economy. We got Zohran, Mamdani winning New York in a major upset. A lot of rippled stuff, a lot of stablecoin supercycle stuff, a bit of Vitalik, all of that coming your way and more. But first, you and I are going to be looking at that BTC monthly candle, which is still horrifically double red out here. Is this enough to save us? I don't know. A lot of people going for the bear market. They're going to say the 4-year cycle is now starting. Of course, it's very controversial, friends. What I've actually done is I've removed the Ethereum wedge as well, because this piece of garbage has just been letting me down. But I'm thinking maybe we should put it back up just so, just to stop the racism, because it did actually bounce. If you remember yesterday, as we capitulated down, like, you piece of garbage actually broke through this, and now it's coming back up. Do you remember, friends, we had like some theoretical short, long trade? You actually got stopped out on it here. So if Ethereum is racist and it does a green monthly candle up here next, I guess you'd put it on again. Yeah, that's the tough part. See, if you're in leverage, you got stopped out. If you're trying to go for 3 to 1, you got stopped out. So you guess if it's green, you wait for the green candle in the next month, if you get it, and then you put it on again. Okay, that sucks. Okay, you lose 1 and then you make 3, so you net up 2 if it works out that second time. But if you're just in comfy in spot, you don't have to worry about it, And a lot of people are incorrectly sizing on these moves and stuff as well. So you and I, friends, we're going to have to really go down into the woods and see if we can move off this zone. This is Bitcoin, friends. Remember, the yellow levels are previous monthly lows and highs, okay? You notice you move forward in time and then it shifts. So obviously, if we're looking at this, friends, this is the previous monthly high. This is that 126K. I mean, good luck for this. We're not coming anywhere near that for a while. But you never know. You never know when it comes to these, okay? So obviously, friends, the 107 is like critical, absolutely critical. 107, yeah? 107, that reclaim is critical. Until then, there's definitely going to be some sort of, like, uh-oh, things are poop. But you just don't know how long it's going to last, Maybe it could come back here, things are poop, and then it comes back up. You don't know. Many people are calling for the end, friends, as well. I'm going to show you some charts, friends. I got to show you there's a lot of people calling for the bear market. A lot, especially considering there's zero euphoria and people saying things are over. I'm going to go through, friends, but I'm not here to target anyone or anything. I'm not here for that, but there's going to be some hypocrisy. There's going to be some absolute hypocrisy when it comes to some of these bear market target stuff, where they're like, no. It's going down for 3 years, but don't worry. My coin that I like, it's going to hold its level. No, it's not. I've got bad news for you, bro. Do you know what a bear market is? You know what a bear market is. Bear market means nobody gives a shit if your coin's down 70, 80, 90, 99.9%. It doesn't matter. People need the money. They're running away. They don't like it. They're deleting the Coinbase App Store from their phone. They're literally just deleting it. They don't care. Like, oh, I still got $8 in that coin. I don't care. It's down 99.555%. I'm out. Okay. I'll cover that for you more as we move on, friends. Bitcoin at $104,000 doing this little reversal up. Yeah, it's obviously very critical here. There are so many levels around here. This was a look. I hope when we look back in the future, we're looking at this was a huge manipulation scam out, liquidity drain. That's what, friends. That's what these predators do. They sniff out who's weak, right? That's what they do. I really hope there's something coming in the future that's going to be good, but whatever. It's just hope and cope. This is Ethereum, friends. Ethereum got absolutely obliterated as well, just like charged through its previous. Look how sad that is. It just literally charged through its previous level as well. It dropped by like 11%. Absolute rubbish. Goes down to literally $3,000. Here it is back here. So Ethereum's reclaiming price would be 3,700. Until then, anything can happen. It could come back, dead cat bounce. That's what everyone's saying, dead cat bounce. You have Crypto Crappo saying November, right? This is the weekly chart, friends. Are we going to look back and see that was this another one of the Jeet exits? Okay. Look, I want to tell you something as well. In the past, friends, the bear market actually starts, you definitely have a red weekly super trend. That's it. But it's not so easy, right? So if you want one, so like Sami, please give me something where we can definitely say everything's cooked. Historically, it's the weekly super trend flipping red, okay? But it's a big distance, okay? It's a big distance. By the time the weekly super trend flipped red here in January 2022, altcoins were already down 65% from their high. Okay, they were already down 65% for the high. Then it basically does it. And guess what? It actually rolls over. Here we had Russia-Ukraine stuff comes out of nowhere. And then basically there's a little tiny little bounce. Only Bitcoin got bouncy. Altcoins are still destroyed. And then it's pretty much all over. It comes back here. Yeah, so Bitcoin's down 33% from the top. But you got to remember as well, friends, yeah, that is after a big run too. That's after a big run. So if you want to say, show me what's the price level here? Here it is, okay? You want to know the critical moment? If Bitcoin closes under $96,000, well, historically, it means poopy time. That's it. All right. I'm still going to assume it's year of the snake. Year of the snake out here. And then next year is year of the horse. Yeah, not everybody is confident about year of the horse because the horse is the enemy of the rat. And Bitcoin was made in 2008. That was year of the rat. That's like what everyone's saying. But like, you know, I don't know. Like, I haven't seen Euphoria, bro. Like, look, I'm not selling. I don't give a crap. Send it to zero, bro. Send it to zero for another 5 years. You want to punish me just for believing in something? Okay, I don't give a crap. Send it to zero for another 5 years. I don't give a shit. I'm not selling. I don't care. I'm not selling. Not after this long. Not when I see depression. Not when I see Coinbase App Store ranking 190. Okay? Not when I see literally zero exotic top signals. I don't care. I'm not selling. I don't give a crap. Send it to zero, bro. I don't give a shit. I'm just going to assume when next year's year of the horse, as in enemy of Bitcoin, I'm going to assume that's Bitcoin dominance going down. I'm going to assume that's Ethereum basically being chosen because they can control stuff. Friends, you know that's been like, I'm really, really, really early with a lot of these prophecy stuff. Really early sometimes. But I don't control it, you know. One of them was obviously Dark Prophecy. It's obviously playing out now. As I've shown you, Dark Prophecy was... Everybody would be optimistic for 2025 in the Bitcoin halving year. They gave us a Trump victory. It was very emotional. We finally made it through. 2025 has been an absolute abomination, obviously. But there was something about that came after 2025. I said, if 2025 is a bad year, this is, I'm remembering what I said in 2023. You go all in. You literally go all in because we're going to go up only. And not a single person's going to believe that 2026 is going to be good. Yeah. Actually, it's scary. I said the next 2 years are good. But I don't know. Take that with a grain of salt. I don't know. So it's just telling you, like, because why I take myself seriously from 2023 is we have no bias. Yeah, because we all thought it was going to be good. I'm like, oh, well, this is a possible scenario. If 2025 is really bad, no one's going to be gambling for 2026. And that's actually when you can actually send it, which is true. Think about it, right? Even Plan B, friends, like Plan B, bro. A Bitcoin maxi with over 1 million followers. 78% of his followers believe next year's a bear market. God, that's weird, man. That's weird. That's very interesting. You're meant to be tilted the other way. You're meant to be like eternal bulls. This is showing you how terrible, friends. If you look, I classify bear markets by the number of red monthly candles. Okay, you can go do that. You can go look at it yourself. Ethereum has had 8 red monthly candles this year, 8 down months, and that was what it had in 2022. Okay, and in 2018 it had 9. All right, but Ethereum did a 4,500x return first, so you can take 9 red candles. Okay. This is wild, right? So literally, we have had the same hallmark. We've been in a bear market this year. That's actually what it's been. It's kind of funny. Ethereum's best recovery year was in 2023. It did 10 out of the 12 candles were green. So that's just something to think about. While I crank it for you a bit. Now, the Bitcoin dominance, friends, is still under the 10-period moving average. Ben Copen and many others believe Bitcoin's going to go to 70% and it's going to have that classical rally thing up here. So effectively, friends, they're giving zero probability that we're about to see that, okay? They're giving zero probability. That's I'm just showing you, right? It kind of looks the same. This is zombie virus. Look at this. See, where's March here? See, this is March zombie virus right there. It's kind of funny. We've had some sort of scamming 4-year cycle flood. I'm wondering, friends, if this is the next thing that's coming. There's going to be like a DeFi alt season. Well, not DeFi. This was DeFi alt season here, but maybe some sort of little season here. That's wave 1. And then everyone thinks it's over, and then you actually get the double wave, remember? That's why I think, I don't know why, but just something's telling me people are just going to buy Bitcoin too high, dude. They're going to buy Bitcoin too high. I'm going to show you this because I might not get to it later, but friends, Tom Lee actually, he said on news, Wall Street's chosen Ethereum and even Raoul Pal, because they speak to everyone out there. And it makes sense, by the way. Because that's why I'm talking to you about prophecies and stuff. I spoke about this, friends, literally a year and a half ago. No, 2023. I said, look, They can control Ethereum. They're smart contracts. They can put stable coins on there. They can delete. They can blacklist. Okay, it's not totally free. They have control. Why would they come in and choose the pure money? Why would they do that? They can't delete you. They can't remove. They have no power over you. If they have Bitcoin, they have to do the outskirt powering stuff. It's so much easier just to adopt the Bitcoin, to adopt Ethereum. It's so much easier for the government. That's why ETH BTC going down has been one of the biggest abomination. I think we're gonna look back at this and go, wow, that was some heavy manipulation, bro. This was some heavy manipulation, because I really do believe in the future Ethereum, but they've chosen Ethereum, dude. You can put smart contracts. Why would you? Friends, it's literally like, okay, you're a police officer. Okay, you can either take a Pokeball to a crime scene, which is great, but it's not going to stop bullets. Okay, unless I'm throwing them. You can take a Pokeball, or you can take a Kevlar vest, a handgun, a Kevlar shield, some backup police officers, a hand grenade, a rocket launcher, and some snipers on the roof. What do you think they're going to choose? Which one do you think your government is going to choose, your local government? Obviously, they're going to choose the high artillery weaponry. They have more control of the situation. Why would they just go and choose BTC? They're not going to, okay? And the only reason why there's even political opinions is because the number has been going up a lot. That's all. But when it stops going up, what are people going to say? What are people going to say, friends? Like, you just think about this, okay? I know it's boy who cried wolf, but when Bitcoin dominance goes down, what do you think they're going to say? Do you think they're going to be saying, yes, I love free money, I love pure money, I love this? No, they're not going to be saying that. They're going to be saying, no tech. You got no tech. You got no stable coins. We can't do swaps. We got no privacy. We can't even put human identities on you. We can't connect to all these third-party wallets. It takes 15 minutes to do a transaction. Then that's all the stuff they're going to be saying. Bang, 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 bang. Okay? That's why I'm like, I feel it. I can feel it. I know. Friends, it's anecdotal. Check my Telegram. Check every other Telegram. Check Twitter. Check YouTube. Check everywhere, man. We all think the same thing. All of us, okay? We all want to buy Bitcoin and never touch an altcoin again. So I've seen what happens in markets, many cycles, friends. Many cycles, day trading, swing trading, everything, okay? I know what happens like that. It gives you a nice median price where you think, oh, cool, this is my chance to get in. Big mistake. Big mistakes, because it's about to go the other way. It's just that you've completely forgotten how long you've been in pain for. The market doesn't just like accidentally just come back for you. Now, of course, we are traversing a black swan PMI environment, friends. 36 months still down in a row. All right, just so I want you to all remember, friends, because like you're telling me a bear market's starting, and look, honestly, friends, I'm gonna play devil's advocate here. Okay. We could go for, the worst in history was 42 months where there was this burst up as well, okay? But I looked at when did it, like, before it did that, it took 42 months, okay? And it was in the 80s. We're on month 36. Technically, it is possible PMI stays, like, if we're going to throw out the 42-month number, okay, that brings us to next year, March. So, yeah, it could be poop. I'm just saying it could be. I hope it's not, but it could be poop until then. We're like, okay, now we're in month 42. Like, this has been an abomination. Something's going to crack on the way up. They have to do something. But yeah, I think everything's really at a critical point as well already, because you have the midterm elections next year, and they might want to be preparing for, like, you know, the voting and stuff in the US government. So we'll see. Now, you probably want to know, Sami, please show us the racist Russell 2000, please, friends. The racist Russell 2000 has somehow closed again above its all-time high. I cannot believe this racist little Russell right here trying to save the day again. And I'm actually a bit in shock. I can't believe it, friends. You remember, like, it's in 7 times, they did a fake out underneath, and here it is up here, friends. We just had the supermoon as well, which is, thank you to Chris, my friend Chris 1000X. The supermoon has actually appeared, friends. What is a supermoon? Here we have a supermoon. Big moons out here. This is great. It's super bright. It is literally a supermoon. It is... I had to look at it. It's absolutely bonkers. And apparently, I'm not joking, I think Chris showed the data. Something, I don't know if it was talking about crypto or the stock market, but it had a 21 out of 21 record for going up from that point. 21 out of 21 after the supermoon. So, you know, is this more hope and cope? Could be. It's beautiful to see. At least we have the racist Russell 2000 in our favor. That's really important, right? Small caps of everything. I'm still in shock, dude. Like, they rejected 3,800 for Ethereum 8 times, bro. 8 times. This is, I'm telling you, there's something weird going on here, man. This makes absolutely no sense, bro. You are literally the chosen government chain with full control of financial future for everyone in the world, okay, on Ethereum, and you're rejecting 8 times. That makes absolutely no sense in the world. Look at Palantir. Look at Palantir, up only 31x. No resistance. It's trading at 600 PE. Palantir is Coconut Intelligence Agency AI that was handed to them by the government, and now they just control them. They're going to use them to spy on the population. They say it's, oh no, that's all FUD. It's not FUD, but you know what I mean? Like, just telling you, man, when they really, really want you, it's a saying, friends, I'll never forget. It was actually Da Vinci J15. Okay, well, first person heard him say, he goes, look, when you miss the boat, you miss the boat. And me too. But when an institution misses the boat, they literally bring the boat back. All right? You never forget that. Speaking of institutions, friends, this is the Sol ETH ratio. It's still hanging around here. Don't forget, the Sol ETH, friends, they got the ETF here. So we'll see if it's able to keep a bid on them or anything out here. Let's look at PulseChain quickly, friends. PulseChain has done a nice tick up, 13 to 15%. It's wonderful to see. The most, you have PWBTC up 33% here, and you can go look at the other RH memes and stuff. Look at them here. You have Pump, Trump, Most, all of them. So they're all up. So you notice, friends, everything's around the same green amount. When I show these, though, the most important part, whoa, look at the fancy hat. Woo! So Pulse, PLS, the Spear, that's pretty much what everyone's bonded to. That's very, very critical, important. You have EHEX as well, up 24%. Peter up 24%, so it's wonderful to see. We've obviously got a long way to go. These are just like ticky green, red candles. This is nothing really to go home with. Now, let's crack on with news, friends. So, many crypto KOLs call for a bear market to start. So, I've got blockchain backer, even BitBoy, friends. Yes, sedated BitBoy, the new BitBoy, is also all calling for bear market. And they believe now it's a range mode. What I now do, friends, I want to show you the charts because I'm watching this stuff. I want to show you what they see. Yeah, for example, this is blockchain backers charts. Okay, so he's showing how this is MicroStrategy's stock, and it's overlay with Bitcoin. He's showing how MicroStrategy here has done a double top like Bitcoin back in 2021. Okay, but on one hand, you can say them. On the other hand, as well, you know that they're correlated anyway. They're a lot correlated, but yeah, but that could be it. That could be one sign. Like, that's why, friends, there's a lot of things weird. Like, Bitcoin's gone up, altcoins are still dead, Ethereum is still garbage and rubbish. Here you have the MNAV for MicroStrategy 1.08. Look, you know, we're all asking questions. I'm tending to say something to you. It's not going to get our hopes up or anything, but I'm looking at it. I'm scratching my head like everyone else. I'm like, dude, I know this makes no sense to anyone, but if this was any other market, what it implies is Bitcoin's dog shit next year and altcoins are mooning. That's what it implies, which no one gives any probability for. They give 0% chance. They go, no way. If Bitcoin's down, everything else is down. That's why I get it. But I'm showing everything and I'm seeing, I go, man, well, look, man, we had Bitcoin good and everything bad. Why can't we go Bitcoin bad, everything good? Why can't we? They say, oh, we just can't because it's never happened before. Yeah, but what do you mean it's never happened before? We've had 3 cycles before, right? How big's your data point, right? So there's a lot of things that people, there's a lot of confusing stuff that are conflicting, which is basically making everyone question a lot of stuff. I want to now show you blockchain backer charts. He still believes, friends, that there's going to be a range mode here, okay? A range mode here, Bitcoin between, like, you know, 100 or 98 to 105 or something out here. Maybe even poke up to 110 and fake everyone out. But he thinks there's going to be a bad news catalyst which comes out and destroys everyone. And everyone's going to lose all their money even more. And you're like saying, but somebody, I never made any money to lose money. I know, I'm in the same camp as you. So that's what he believes is coming based off this fractal. He really thinks that, yes, he goes, now the crowd's super bearish. We're going to go back and feel really great. Oh, it's good. And then we come back down. Oh, no, it's bad again. Oh, no. And then they say, oh, the bottom's in, guys. The bull market's on. And then he believes a big negative news catalyst will come that no one can see. And yeah, that's what's going to happen. You know, KOLs who are bullish, he says, they're going to come out and say, oh, you know, I was bullish, but then I couldn't foresee, you know, this big event cracking or another war or another this, another that. Yeah, man, very unfortunate if that happens. This is Bitcoin on the weekly chart, friends. This is one of the big levels that everyone says we must hold. This is that 50 weekly, 50 period moving average, or 100 on the weekly chart here. So this is historically just been support. Everyone's looking at it. Not even really everyone looking at it. Is it going to hold again? We don't know. It's always super tight when it comes here. All right. I want to share this with you. That's all. Okay. I want to share this with you because I went through it. You know, it brings a lot of pain. Here we have the washing machine that I was talking about, right? Here we bounce back up to like 114, come back down here to 96, come back up. Everyone thinks like, okay, now we're out of the woods, and then game over. That's what he thinks is pretty much happening. Now, what I'm going to show you, some funny part here. It's fun. It's funny to me. This next part, it is funny. So I think you're smoking crackles, Mr. BCB. So the funniest part was, I'm like, okay, if you think Bitcoin's going down to 70,000, which I'll show you now. Okay, if Bitcoin, so if he says, okay, Bitcoin's going down to 70,000 from here, that's another 33% drop. Okay, 33% drop. That is absolute carnage, obliteration. All right. And then what I'm now going to show you is, it's kind of funny, friends, because when you're holding something, you don't like drawing the candle down 95%. You can't do it, okay? Because you're like, if I think it's going down 95%, I've got to get out, right? So he has the XRP fractal here. This is the XRP chart, but it's kind of funny. When he's doing the fractal to show the collapse, what he does is he scrunches the chart and makes it smaller. He did it unconsciously. Subtly. He didn't even notice he do it. No one else noticed he did it. So I'm wondering, I was watching, I was like, wow, you fit the fractal so that if XRP drops, oh, don't worry, it's still above like $1.60. You know, like if it goes back down here. So you can see this part here, like it goes up and down and it rounds off. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, why would you do that, bro? Do you understand? Like, I'm showing you XRP BTC chart here, for example, friends. If Bitcoin is going to drop 30%, why would everyone go, oh my gosh, the whole industry is going to a bear market for 3 years. I know, let me leave my precious thin liquidity altcoin. Let me just leave it there and not do anything. I don't think so, man. I mean, like, if you're calling for a bear market, dude, you're literally saying this thing's going all the way back down, okay? So if this thing's, you're saying it's pretty much game over again, all right? And XRP comes back down from the ashes from where it came from. It would be XRP dropping 60% against Bitcoin from here. And if Bitcoin drops 33%, so you do 1.6 times 33, it will be XRP dropping 52%. And if I go and look at it, what the actual price is, we can actually go and have a look. Another collapse from here. Where would it take us? It would take us all the way down here, pretty much. Near, it would go like bang. Well, there you go. Enjoy it. Enjoy your bull all the way back to the bottom. Oh my gosh, imagine. Fuck, that's cruel, man. Imagine that happens to us. That's it. I want to just show that to you. Look, man, at this point, just send him to zero. I don't care. I don't care. We want to get punished. Oh, you held for 5 years and you still got nothing. Yeah. Let me tell you something, friends. If crypto was going up this year and we're having euphoria and altcoins were going up, there would be a narrative. What would the narrative be? The narrative would be people can't afford houses. Everything's too expensive. So they are going further out the risk curve to try and make up for their investments because they can't win anywhere else. Their jobs suck. They're losing to inflation. So they're here to speculate on altcoins. There you go. It just... The narrative is made after the price action. But right now, the price action's down. What does everyone say? Oh, no one's investing because no one has money to invest. Okay, but if we were going up, people will say, oh, they're taking what little money they have to invest to try and make more because that's the only chance they have. So the story doesn't mean anything, okay? It's these cycles that are in control. And I've shown you the business PMI cycle. That's still very, very, very low. Continue on with news, friends. PulseChain has risen, obviously, 15% on the good news that crypto KOLs are calling for a bear market due to the 4-year cycle repeating, I guess, for the 4th time. Obviously, everyone now, I guess we're going to... Do we get some sort of little relief bounce part where everyone thinks, oh, it's back on, and then go back down? Whatever, man. I can't be bothered for that washing machine, dude. It's been total abomination for years. This is funny, friends. President Trump has called Fed Jerome Major Loser Powell. He called him a nincompoop. So let's listen to Donnie.
Energy prices are down, interest rates are down, despite the fact that we have a total nincompoop at the Federal Reserve. It was recommended by one of my real great people who I'd never spoke to again.
Whoa, that's big. Jerome, Major Loser Powell, Donald Trump, the guy who recommended it to him, he says, I've never spoken to that guy again. Damn. Interesting. You know, friends, when you're looking at the US Fed, the policy is still tight. Okay? So if we bring up the others BTC chart, if altcoins are an extension of the business cycle, they're ending QT. We don't know where to place it. What do they do next, right? Is Major Loser Powell, like, he's got a new, this is the thing, friends, like next year, May, they've got a new Fed chairman, right? So would it be out of this world to see that this thing kind of like rotates up into it and then it continues? With our luck, though, we've never had any good luck at all in the past 4 or 5, at all. It's always been bad luck. Only bad luck. Only bad things have happened to us. The market hasn't front-run anything. It just gets worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. So, yeah, I'm not going to hold my breath for it. President Trump says the stock market will hit many more record highs. And he said him and President Winnie the Pooh, he goes, he's a friend of mine as much as he can be. So, you know, the tensions have like come down. Are they going to put us on us later on, whatever. Now, friends, Zohran Mamdani wins New York City mayor race. And they say his stance on crypto remains clear. So a lot of people are saying, you know, like I made a video yesterday just reporting, going like, New York City has fallen. What's going on? Well, look, friends, just remember, okay, it's just like what we saw with Pump Fund, okay? People are saying Pump Fund ruined everything. No, Pump Fund was a response to the bad PMI, bad environment we see from the every person out here because they don't have confidence to buy altcoins. And then the layer 2, the VCs were greedy, expecting lots of bids. There were no bids, so they just had all the tokens that they dumped on everyone. Okay, so everyone, that's why Pump Fund was a response. So Zohran is a response to people who see property way too high, real estate still too high, and they're getting destroyed now. So this is what's actually happened, right? They've hiked the rates to stop the property market. But the property market's staying bid. Okay, yeah, it's coming down here and there. It's not like, friends, who get, okay, property went up. When you've been growing for like 10 years at 10% per year, and then you have like 1 year, you're down 5.5%, that's nothing, dude. Shut up. You know what I mean? Like, it's not even comparable. Okay, so your house goes, say a property goes from 500 grand, now it's 1.38 million. Okay, now it's down to 1.29. Wow, congratulations. No one gives a crap about that, all right? So the interest rate hikes, all they're doing is killing the population. That's all they're doing, okay? They are just killing everyone in the population, okay? That's what they're doing. And sadly enough, they're still printing money and they're giving it to their cronies. So we have high interest rates, okay? High interest rate, everything's just screwed. Everything is just screwed. And what's going to turn it around? I don't know, friends. Because what turned it around in 2020 was a literal zombie virus, and they just printed money. But they printed money to fill up the big GDP negative gap. That's why if you hear a lot of people like that professor, that Chinese professor dude who's on David Lin interview. Yeah, so a lot of people use this term controlled demolition. So they can see that, oh, the government is doing this controlled damage in places because they know they have to print. So they go, okay, we're going to have to print. Let's break something first so we know we want to print X amount of money. Okay? Even like, Arthur Gaze, and everyone speaks of that too as well. Let's look at Arthur Gaze here talking about printing money. Hopefully it's coming soon.
When I read the politicians say they're going to do this or that, spend money on this or that.
That's cool.
Very, very ever rarely do I hear, and I'm going to raise taxes or propose taxes to be raised to pay for any of this stuff. I don't know why the Bitcoin or crypto cycle has to be 4 years. That's supposedly ending in a few weeks. If the liquidity is going to continue to be created because the politicians who are appealing to the people that they represent are saying we're going to do something for you and it doesn't cost anything.
There you go. So it's pretty much just showing your friends. Arthur Gaze, our favorite bear there. He's just actually obviously very bullish. He's saying, look, we've had 3-4 year cycles. He says, why does it have to be 4 years? It's all about liquidity. That's what it comes down to. And they're expecting a big liquidity rollover. They have 10 trillion to roll over soon. 10 trillion. How are they going to roll it over? They have to roll it over. Unless they say, okay, we're not going to pay your debt $10 trillion. They have to print. But are they going to crack? That's what we don't know, man. Are they going to crack the system first and then do the printing and Bitcoin goes to 70K? I hope not. But, you know, we'll see. Are they going to crack the system? All engineered bullshit. Check this out as well, friends. So Ripple have secured a $500 million strategic investment at 40 billion market cap valuation. But when they say strategic investment, it could mean that they just swapped tokens. And they go, oh, they value us at 40 billion. They could be doing the ICO scamming thing so they can get a high IPO bubble. Yeah. I hope it doesn't happen anytime soon, because then that would line up with blockchain backers listing. Imagine like XRP is only like $2 or something, and they use this euphoria. Oh, Ripple got listed, and then that's the top. That'll be nasty, man. Everything has already been nasty. Ripple partnered with MasterCard to introduce RLUSD credit card settlements on XRP Ledger. This is great. So we have stablecoin super cycle, more and more people bringing cards, more adoption coming in, people using the chain in the background. We've advanced so much, man. So much. Now, friends, this is funny. India's Madras High Court has legally recognized XRP as property, granting it protection under criminal law. You know, as if you know, in crypto, India like ban and unban crypto every like literally 5 months. But it is kind of funny that even XRP, friends, is making the rounds and all these altcoins and stuff. Like, man, it's just so crazy. Like, all you're hearing about is altcoins in the news. That's all we're hearing. Adoption, all these countries, man. I know there's the Bitcoin, but they've been doing it for years, right? Market's got to wake up. As we said before, Arthur Hayes says Bitcoin's cycle is shaped more by political money than by time itself. So that is another way to think about it. 4-year cycle just means, oh, I base my stuff off a time period. Yeah. If you believe a cycle, you believe that liquidity and the global liquidity is driving everything, right? So that's actually the driver force. Whether they stop and start it and they delay it. So that's actually what we're betting on, is that they've delayed the liquidity injection by a year. That's what we're betting on. That's when we say believe a cycle. It hasn't come yet. Retail's not here. When everything's pumping, that's what we're betting on. Yeah, and people who say, oh, the 4-year cycle's here. So what they're betting on, they're using footprints of the past cycles. When the government did the 4-year liquidity printing in the government debt rollover, they're using the footprint of charts in the past to apply it to today. And as you can see, so obviously where it's 50-50, people say, oh, well, 4-year cycle, look at this, all the shorts, Taik is printing on his shorts, etc. Everyone's calling for the end. Jams win, for example, right? And then the rest of us are like, wait a minute, let's go to the fundamentals. Why does crypto actually move? Does crypto move just because of time itself? No, it moves because of global liquidity. That's why it moves. Okay, everything, we are an extension of the business cycle. That's why we're actually moving. That's why I'm going to continue to hold. So we'll see. It comes down to how your fundamentalist understanding of crypto, what your position is. Ethereum co-founder Vitalik discusses reducing withdrawal times for stage 1 optimistic rollouts to 1 to 2 days. So currently it's 7 days to do a full withdrawal. It's like 1 to 2 days. So what I'm just saying, friends, is that over time, all this Ethereum FUD, I always knew, man, I go, dude, they made the rules. They can easily just upgrade the code and change it. They can just change it and tweak things and stuff here and there. Matter of time, right? Gemini is preparing to offer prediction market contracts. So prediction markets and stuff still making their way around the world, getting popular. And you have Franklin Templeton updating their XRP ETF, which they're aiming to launch this month. From Bloomberg, James Seyfarth. Okay. Well done, Mr. What a surname, by the way. Mr. Seyfarth. Now, you have all of these coming together. We're all curious. All right. If we could roll forward time, what's it going to look like? No one knows. Of course, no one knows, friends. ETH BTC is still at 0.0322. Man, I really hope that this gets broken up, and then Ethereum can give us this. Somewhere here, come back down here. This is the new floor, and we can go up in the next. I really hope that can happen. But that's just hoping and coping. You know, that's hoping and coping. I can show you now as well. We go back to Bitcoin's price action candles. Bitcoin's price action candles. Right, we're right here. This, you know, we're stuck in this 100 to 100 to 110. Personally, this is just me. Okay, personally, I don't want to. Friends, I will not say even to myself, I don't believe we're out of the woods until I want to see Bitcoin literally close a week above $118,000. Okay, anything under here, I think it's Takia scamming. Okay, that's just me. Okay, and maybe that sends a sign to the universe, so we're not like signals or anything. But If we do something like this, I mean, God help us. I mean, it's already been trashed as well. We'll see. But that's just something to think about, right? The liquidity injection has to come. It's overdue. They're cutting rates. QT's ending. Well, see, it's kind of nuts as well. This always happens, friends. Like, okay, they're cutting rates. They got to print. It's all got to happen. Okay, but are they going to do the controlled demolition first? Are stocks going to drop? Is the economy going to tank really fast, really hard, and then they come in to rescue? Because that's standard politician stuff, where something breaks and they do it. That's why I was hoping a bank breaks or something in America. Something happens there. But I hope Bitcoin's not tanking down. So we don't know, man. We don't know. We'll see when it comes to that. Hopefully it's just like a little wick thing. There's another thing as well, friends. Like, what if, like, you know, we're recovering up, okay? And we're doing, maybe that Bitcoin gold rotation's here. And then something in the economy of US cracks with the bank and we have a wick like that, right? And here we go down and the US Fed comes out and then my precognition dream comes true where US Fed goes, okay, we're going to open up the swap lines, you know, like something like an emergency of that comes out. But that is also hope and cope, all right? Because the standard everyone expects is Bitcoin's down here, right? We're down here and then something cracks and they go, oh, I'm going to... See, everyone's trying to... See, friends, everyone's got this like fantasy in their head where 2020 repeats. So they want everything to crash down. The US Fed comes out and says, hey, we're doing QE. Time to get long. And then they get long and everyone makes money. That's what everyone's waiting for. That's why they're all sidelined here. Okay, so are they going to get it though? I hope not. All right. You and I are just going to keep praying and hoping that this range holds. And we'll see what happens. Okay. Don't forget he loves you, friends. Like, subscribe, belly button all. Catch you soon.